All right, guys, welcome to the On Deck show this weekend. We had some fun wrestling last weekend. We had Ohio State, Penn State, awesome match. St. Gary blew the roof off. I called it. Iowa versus Minnesota was a lot of fun. Michigan, Wisconsin, so much good wrestling. We have one more weekend of duels. We're going to talk rivalry weekend, actually. We're talking to three programs who are on the upswing this year, having a lot of success. So here's who we're going to talk to today on Deck. We're going to talk to Jake Sueflohn, assistant coach at Purdue, who also grew up here and went to the same high school I did, Arrowhead High School. We're going to talk to Dennis Papadatos, who is the head coach of Hofstra, turning that program around. They've now won 7 in a row. And then after that, we're talking to Ned Shuck, who he coached here in Wisconsin at a program called UW Whitewater. He is now at West Point, the associate head coach at West Point University. They have a huge match this weekend against the Naval Academy. So those will be our 3 guests today. Let's get right into it. First off, we are going to bring in Purdue coach Jake Sueflohn. All right, guys, we're here with Mr. Jake Sueflohn. Jake, what's going on today?
Not a whole lot, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Hey, just a chance, are you going to come up to the Wisconsin State Tournament this year?
I am planning on being there, yeah.
Oh, nice. Isn't it the most wonderful state tournament ever?
I mean, I'm a little biased, but I would agree with you.
So I probably went to 10 or so high school state championships through college recruiting, and I don't think I ever saw one that was quite as packed as. Now I'm sure there are, but I never saw one that was as packed as Wisconsin. Have you?
Well, this is the first year I can recruit outside of
Okay.
so I haven't been able to check out the other state tournaments yet, but I will agree with you. Of all I've been to, it's the best.
So did you go to Nebraska when you were there?
No, I never did. It was
What?
always when I know we were always competing around that time, and I didn't head over.
Was it in Lincoln or Omaha?
Omaha.
Oh, okay. That's different, right? I mean, I guess for like me, the Missouri State Tournament was 100 feet away or whatever. I just went and watched
Yeah.
regular.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes.
It was an hour away.
And Indiana's really unique because they only have one division.
That's correct. Yes.
You like it or you hate it?
I got mixed feelings. Like I like the fact that if you win state, you're truly the state champion.
Yeah.
But the way it's worked with the wrestlebacks, I don't always feel like the best guys get to the places they deserve.
Oh, really? What happens with the wrestlebacks?
I mean, if you at some points there is no wrestlebacks.
Oh, yeah. That's no good.
Yeah, so I think it could probably work a little bit better. But it's always a good tournament from what I hear, and I'm looking forward to watching that one as well this year.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, let's talk about Purdue. Well, I guess I should put on the table for those of you who aren't familiar. Jake and I both went to the same high school. That's why I've got a little familiarity. And we did get you an AWA. It was only for like a month or two.
That's true.
We did get you in there for a few months.
Yeah, I caught the tail beginning of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good helping it grow as much as I can.
Absolutely. So, Jake, I would say, and I think by all accounts, Purdue is having a breakout season. Is that a fair assessment? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're having a great year. Up and down the lineup, you're seeing the guys who have done well in the past have stepped it up. And in addition to that, the young guys, the first year in the lineup have done a very good job as well. So all around, you've seen a lot of guys perform very well this year, and it's been a breakout by a lot of people. But personally, we thought this was going to happen.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've talked to you since the season started. So I mean, I guess I would start out with your guys' performance at Vegas. I mean, really good. A couple champions, and just I feel like that put everyone on notice. Did you guys feel the same way?
Yeah. I thought we had done well. We split with Arizona State at Journeyman 5-5.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that tournament for a lot of people is when they started noticing Purdue wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. So you had Griffin Perry take fourth, Kendall Coleman take fourth, and Leidy and Bruner both made the finals with Leidy winning. And I think Leidy's probably been your most consistent. But listen, as a coach, you drive me crazy because every match is so close. You guys got to be like, I don't see any gray hairs on your head there, but it's got to be coming pretty soon.
Yeah, and we also had Devin Schroeder in the finals as well. So we had 3 in the finals.
Yep, I forgot about him. My bad.
Yep. So, but yeah, we always tell Leidy it doesn't have to be this close.
Why is he got to make it that close?
I don't know, because you see when he wants to go, he gets a takedown just about every time. It's something we're working with him on. We always make jokes about it. Why don't we just start the match in overtime? But no, like he's got great attacks, and when he commits to it, he gets it. It's just we could pull the trigger a little bit sooner.
Yeah. Okay. And so then I guess kind of next thing after that, Midlands, another pretty good tournament. You guys are missing demonstrated, but both Bruner and Leidy both win there. So Bruner came close at Vegas, gets on top of Midlands. Leidy kind of the same thing, a whole bunch of close matches, but gets the job done again. You had to feel good about that, right?
Yeah. Purdue Wrestling went from 2 champs in the history of Midlands to 4 in one day. We doubled it. So
really?
Yeah. We'd only had 2 champs before then, and we doubled it in one day. So it was a good day for Purdue Wrestling, obviously with the champs, but we had other guys come through and play. So it was a good tournament again all around. The guys that have consistently been showing up.
Yeah. Well, I did not realize that was the case. I would not have guessed that. If you put money on that, I would not have guessed that by any imagination. Okay, yeah. I'm going to ask you about a tough one because I watched this duel. So you have Iowa at home. It looks like you had an outstanding crowd. And the score is obviously ugly, but there was match. Leidy and Kemmer was a really good match. Lyon and Assad was a really good match. Bruner and Warner was. There was a lot of really competitive matches. It just had about Kendall Coleman and Caleb Young. Obviously, you just couldn't quite get over the hump in a bunch of those matches.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't sleep well that night. It's one of those duels where you think, we can get a couple matches here and there. And I thought the guys were wrestling well, and it was just, we just fell short in a bunch of those matches, and it really sucked. I ain't gonna lie, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff we can grow from it and move forward with. So if we're gonna, learn from it, that's kind of the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and so then, as you go through November, and I feel like the Big Ten schedule is so tough. I look at Wisconsin's, record too. You guys win a bunch of tough ones, but then you dropped a match against Wisconsin, Nebraska, Minnesota, and then you just capped the season. So you guys are actually done until Big Ten. You capped it with a win over Illinois, which had to feel good. Did you guys set the schedule up so you got 3 weeks off between the last match and Big Ten? I think that's really nice for teams to have that gap.
Yeah, it is nice, especially with the Big Ten dual season is what it is. Like there's a lot of grinds. It's just a grind on the guys, and so we're not the only team. A lot of teams have guys beat up right now, and so it's nice to kind of have that time to heal up. Obviously, we're going to train hard, but we're going to heal up, get healthy, and then get ready for Big Tens.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any. If you can give us an update, but Bruner is still not back, correct?
He's going to be back. Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna be back on the mat here today or tomorrow, so he'll be getting to where he needs to be for Big Tens.
Nice, awesome. Okay, what else you gonna tell us about, Jake?
I don't know, man. What do you want to talk about?
Well, we're obviously headed to the end of the season. I got a crazy stretch coming up because we got the high school state tournament, and then we have. I'm not going to the Big Tens, but obviously I'll be following the Big Tens very closely. Mm-hmm. I get to commentate. You know what? I got to steal your job, Jake. Let's talk about this. You used to want to be an ESPN commentator. I got a job for ESPN and at ESPN this year.
Dang. That's what I grew up wanting to do. But then I didn't want to walk away from the sport, so. Here I am doing this, and here you are doing ESPN. So that's pretty cool.
Only once, right? I guess I got to do this podcasting thing fairly regularly, which I enjoy. I will tell you, I do enjoy podcasting, and especially with this new show I'm doing with RUDIS, I get to talk to a bunch of college coaches, so it was a lot of fun. But I do definitely 100%. I enjoy coaching way more.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
You feel that same way? You love coaching?
I do. I love it, and it's a roller coaster, right? Because each guy has their own ride, and you're along for their ride. But it's a lot of fun. It's a very rewarding job.
Yeah, I was actually. So I don't know if you ever watched my Mental Mondays, but I got one. So I'm on the lower levels of wrestling. You're wrestling the highest levels of college wrestling, and it's like so. My Mental Monday today, and I don't know if you want to put any ideas in my head that to talk about. Also, is that. Life is tough. Life is really hard. And life doesn't give a damn if you're sick or you're hurt or your girlfriend dumped you or whatever, right? And so wrestling is kind of the same way, and it's funny because I don't know if you know the way we operate at AWA. We don't push kids really hard really early. We kind of let them grow into it, and as they get older, we start pushing them. And it's funny because at some of these tournaments, when you see like these 8th graders and they're wrestling, sometimes they'll have a 4.5 or 5 minute match. That's the first time they wrestle that length, and they've never been pushed that hard. And they when they first hit them, they don't know how to react. And it's like, listen, and you got to teach them. Nobody cares that you're tired right now because other people are tired also.
Yeah.
You got to push through it, and that's a really great lesson for life, I feel like.
Yeah, it is. I've always lived by the motto, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even though it's a short 7-minute window, it might be tough, but at the 10th of the minutes, it's over. The 5 minutes or the 6 minutes, whatever it is, you just got that short little period, push through it, and then
yeah,
it gets easier.
Those 7 minutes can be a window into someone's soul, though, a little bit. They really can.
You can find out a lot about somebody in 7 minutes.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. So that's me on Mental Monday. At some point later today, I'm going to get on and talk about that for a little bit. I think it's a great thing for kids to experience, to see what they're made of, and see how deep they can deep, and then I said that backwards. How deep they can dig. It's great. So
I knew what you were saying.
You got me. So I will see you in 4 weeks, Minnesota. Right?
Wait, you're gonna be at Wisconsin State tournament, right?
No, don't even get me started. I'm an idiot.
Well,
I had it on the wrong weekend on my schedule. I thought it was this coming weekend, so I scheduled something in Ireland the weekend after, thinking that was going to be team state because I don't generally go to team state. But so now this year, I'm probably going to go to team state. You know who's going to win, actually? McGuanago's probably going to win this year. I don't want to say for sure. They're really good. I'm unbiased now because I coach everybody. I love them. They have a really, really awesome team. They're likely to win this year. Arrowhead's probably going to go team state also, though. But they seed it now, so Arrowhead will probably be the 7 seed. McGuanago will probably be the 1. Yeah.
Ooh. Hey, but our boys didn't win the 4th state title, and you're not going to be there for it.
Keegan will win his 4th state title, but we're going to have a stretch. AWA now is going to have a stretch of 4-timers because then the following year we have I'm going to forget them. We have Matt Bianchi, who's going for his 4th still. Then we'll have Clayton Whiting, who's going for his 4th. And I think we might have someone else in that class. So I'm going to stop this because I'm going to forget someone. All right, Jake, I appreciate your time. I'll see you in Minneapolis.
All right, sounds good, bud. I'll see you there.
All right, that was fun hearing from Jake about the success that they're having as a program. Obviously, they get 3 weeks off now before the Big Ten Championship. It's going to be nice to let everyone heal up. I didn't want to rub in that Wisconsin did get the better of them this year, but they did. But Purdue is really having, a breakout. If you think of where they were when Coach Ursula took that program over, they are having a total breakout season. It looks like they could get 2, 3, 4 All-Americans in this tournament, which would be gigantic for them. So now we are going to go to Dennis Papadatos on Long Island. I'm going to give him a hard time about some of my old funky fresh campers, the Heller brothers. They were a lot of fun, but a lot of work also. So I'm going to ask him about them. And then obviously they've won seven in a row now. So they've won 7 dual meets in a row. They're likely going to win this weekend. So end the season on an 8-match winning streak. And ask him about some of the problems he's had with the roster caps. I know that's a big deal. So here we go. All right, what's up? I'm here with Dennis Papadatos.
You got it.
Absolutely. So hey, listen, I'm gonna throw this at you right away. I'm gonna start. How many times a week do you try to strangle the Heller brothers?
I know with them a bunch. They're good, man. They're really coachable, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But they've always talked about when I first recruited them, the mom loves you. The mom and dad love you. Thought you were great. They always went to your camps.
Yeah.
Sage is super coach. They're all super coachable.
Well, Sage was the old mature one, I thought. Yes. And the other two are like super high energy.
Yes. Well, Reese is crazy. Reese is super competitive. Reese and Holden almost fight each other every day, which I don't mind. Their brother. Let them go at it. Holden's a wise ass. You're right. And Reese is the competitive one. And Sage keeps him in line. He's definitely the big brother. He when he lays the smackdown on them. They're good, man. But they're all coachable. They're good kids, man. They're a big part of our culture, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they always worked hard, but then like they're kind of smart Alex, So when you're in charge and they're being a smart Alex, you have to be like, keep it up, and I'm coming over there. I'm gonna try to strangle you.
Holden the most. I want to strangle Holden the most, probably, if you want to be truthful. But he's talented, man. He's talented.
Yeah, they're awesome. And I just checked out all your results, and they seem to be finding a good amount of success this year. All three of them, right?
Yeah, for sure. Reese was at one point ranked like 22nd in the country.
Yep.
He had a little bit of true freshman gap in the middle, making weight got hard on him. He just kind of got it under control again. Sage, how he's not in the coaching rank, I don't know. His RPI is 30th. He has 6 losses on the year. Five of the kids ranked in the top 12 in the country.
Dang.
He's beaten the 18th kid ranked in the country, and we've pinned and majored and teched everyone else. But the coaching rank I don't understand it, but some of the other rankings finally have him ranked. I mean, he's probably going to qualify to wait for the conference. You know what I mean? So,
well, I don't really like those conference the coaches rankings.
It's joke.
I always think, here's what I think. I think the coaches are so busy with what they're doing, they don't want to do rankings. So here's what they do. They go online, they look at one ranking, they look at another ranking, and they move a few numbers around a little bit, and then they call it a day.
It's crazy, man. Like, obviously, I'm biased, and I do some of the rankings for the IWA. Yeah. But and you try to be smart, you try to be fair. But I'm not saying we're great, but we're having some success.
Yeah.
Right now, we have 0 of our starters ranked in the top 33 according to the coaching rank. 0.
Damn.
How are we beating all these teams with these guys that aren't any good? Like, you're 0. Like, are you kidding me?
So to give some clarification, you guys are on a 7-match win streak now.
Yeah.
Probably all likelihood is that you win number 8 and you go into the IWAs on an 8-match winning streak.
Hopefully, yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
You can't. Well, I'll say so I always do this to coaches. You coaches, you never want to say something's a for sure or something's likely. So I say I can say it for you, and you don't have to say anything. Is that fair?
If you want, but they're pretty good. The team we got beat a team we lost to, even though we probably beat 6 teams by 40 that beat that team that we lost to. But it was a bad. We had a bad week and a half stretch where we lost 4 of our 5 matches. Our other loss was NC State.
Yeah.
If you ask me, we should be 14-1. If we had our whole lineup that day, we went 0-3. And then that week and a half later, when we were trying to come out of it, I personally believe if we wrestled all those teams again, it would not be the same story. But it may have defined us, to be honest with you. I don't know. We left there thinking, what just happened? We are not this bad. Let's get it together and go on a run. And we kind of did.
Yeah. So, I guess that kind of leads into that. You've been a part of turning the culture around at Hofstra. You guys are having a really good season this year. What's that been like? Because you were alumni. You graduated, 2002, I think you graduated.
2000. I graduated in 2000. Okay. 2001 was my redshirt senior year while I was in grad school, and then I finished my master's in 2002.
Okay. So then
I'm graduate.
You're kind of gone. You're kind of all over the place. You came back in 2014, 15, and been turning things around.
For sure. I mean, 2 years ago we had an All-American. We went 10-10 that year. Last year was a little bit. Last year we had 4 returning EIWA place winners, and all were out for the season. With injury. And Sage Teller was one of them, and he was kind of one of our leaders. And everyone's back, everyone's healthy. But as I was saying, I was just actually talking to Pat Papalizio about 10 minutes ago, saying it's easy to stay healthy when you're kicking people's butts, right? Like, right?
Yeah.
When you're getting hurt, why are you getting hurt? Because the guy rips your arm off before he throws you to your back, right? Like, when you're winning, it's a little easier to stay healthy. And the guy's mental output, right? They're excited. Like, I'm not hurt. I'm gonna hurt someone else. So it's easier to stay healthy, and we're healthy right now. So that's a good thing. Yeah,
I mean, I guess let me. Yeah, okay. I agree with that, but I think one of the things I read about Hofstra is you guys have either a limited roster or limited scholarships, and that makes it really.
Yeah, we had a 20-man roster cap.
Are you still there, or you've increased it?
This is the first year. We have 24 this year, but I got it in the end of May, so I only got 22 kids in the team because I wasn't just going to go give it to anybody.
Yeah, sure.
And we're going to have 26. Next year we're going to have 25, and the following year we're going to have 26.
Nice.
That's the plan. It's still low, but it's the AD they're working on it, right? So 20 was harder than anyone can possibly imagine. That counts walk-ons, that counts red shirts,
everybody.
That counts everybody. And then last year we had 11 guys that were either not redshirting or weren't hurt for the year. We had 11 guys in practice. Forget 11 guys to use. 11 guys that can practice. Some days we'd have 6 guys practicing. 6. Yeah. And we're going there. We're doing. It was crazy. It was actually crazy.
Yeah, I mean, roster caps are a son of a gun in wrestling. You brought Frank Pop, but he's got quite a big roster, and I know some other teams do. Well, you got 40 guys. It's fairly easy to fill the 10 spots. But if you're limited, I mean, you guys are limited to 20. I know Storniola at Northwestern has a really small roster cap also. And so that makes it really, really difficult to put good guys in those spots, because the other thing is, as a guy gets into his third or fourth year and you realize maybe he's not that good, you kind of want to bring a new guy in.
Absolutely.
But you bring the new guy in, then he's got a red shirt, so you're kind of in a tough spot one way or the other.
And then you also have, here's the next thing. When you have injuries, who's going to train these guys? You got to wrestle with the same guy every day? Like, you know, last year we had a true freshman that I wish we redshirted. He's having a really good campaign as a sophomore. And he won 20 matches last year as a true freshman. But he was pretty ranked high, you know, out of flow, won Minnesota States, and, you know, he was a pretty big recruit. He won like 20 matches, but all his workout partners got hurt. And he's wrestling me and Coach Patrovich. Yeah, I was pretty good, but I'm 40. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be his training partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One, I can't do it. And I'm like, I can't give him real looks anymore. Like, after one go, I'm like, all right, someone rotate in. This is, you know, so like, it hurts you because you don't have training partners. You can't even develop guys to the point you want them to be developed to. And that actually hurts worse than not having guys to put in there, not having guys to be able to help you develop in the room. You know, it was a big problem. Thank God we have at least local guys like Weidman, like, you know, someone like that. Work out with Weidman and stuff like that. You know,
you got to bring Team Sarah Longo in there.
Sure, man. Our guys go over there. Actually, that guy I'm talking about, Chris liked training with him a bunch. So like Chris would bring it in for his training stuff. They'd go to law. Sarah Weidman, and Weidman would come to the room but it's easier to have wrestling partners and not be extra stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, so. That was the hardest part of having a small roster, is not having guys to develop guys to get them to where they needed to be. And right now we have 22 guys, and thankfully no one's hurt, and it's a little easier, and we're winning. Isn't that crazy? You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. So you go up 25 next year, 26 year after that. That should help quite a bit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, those 6 spots, absolutely. And the level of guys are a higher level as well. You know what I mean? We're, you know, guys that we used to have to give money to are walking on. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where you kind of get to. And we, you know, last year was a rough year. And like I said, the year before we had an All-American, first one in a while, you know, and the first one in 6 years. And not to say anything about, you know, I guess the past, because I'm part of the past, or maybe the more recent past. I'm pretty different than probably the last 2 coaches. So this is the first year that everyone on the team is someone me and my staff brought in. So this is my 6th year. For 5 years,
sure.
I had a majority. For the first 4 years, more than 50% of my roster were people, and I love them. They grad, you know what I mean? Just saying, when you bring your people in, you sat in their house, you brought them here, you had different conversations. It's just different, and it feels different, and the guys feel different. I'm super happy of those guys that were here and they bought in. But like I said, this is the first year that everyone on staff is someone I brought here, and every guy on the team is someone that we brought here. And this is the first time that 100%. And like I said, it's working. So I'm trying not to get ahead of ourselves, because at the end of the day, no one really cares. So you know what I mean? So focus on the next.
Hey, let me ask you, as I kind of was looking through your schedule, how do you feel about having another Division I team on Long Island? I think that's got to feel good, right? To have, the more competitors you have really close to you, I think the better. I
think way better. Look, is it a coincidence that NC State and UNC are running up? I was at UNC before I was here when Pat first was NC State. Me and Pat coached together at Binghamton, so I know him forever. So and when we were at UNC, we finished top 25 both years. We were there, me, Colat, and CD, and now they're really investing in the program, and they're getting better. NC State's getting better. They're both top 10. There's plenty.
Did you see that duel in Reynolds 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Unbelievable. I was actually at a party with my that was actually Virginia Tech. I was at the party. That one I watched in my house.
That was a good duel too.
Yeah, it was. But that was Valentine's Day, so my wife made me go to sitting at the table watching the duel, and all these people around me, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working, man. Leave me alone. I want to watch this duel. I went crazy when Trombley got the pin. I was like, this is sick. You know what I mean? I'm a little biased. I love everybody, but Pat's my family. That's my so.
Pat's awesome. I wanted to have him on today. I've had him on before. I'm going to have him on at some point, because I really want to get into this. I think there should be 2, and I think the economics around it are going to work now, because so many people are having huge crowds. I think there should be a dual national title.
Yeah.
It's different, and a team national title. I think it should be two totally different things. I think they could both stand on their own, and that's what I know. Pat's AD Debbie Yao tweeted about it. So
Yeah,
I'd love to have that.
She's retired now, but yeah, she's a big advocate for it. But it's the truth, man. Listen, I love wrestling. You're a wrestling guy, right? You love wrestling.
Love it.
And I pay my mortgage with it, right? My kids do it. I love it. I sit at home. After I get home, I think about wrestling. I think about recruits. I love it. Like, I don't just do it. I love it. And don't tell me how many times have you been at a tournament, you're like, oh, my God, I got here at 5 a.m.
Oh, my God.
And by 4 o'clock, you're like, this is stupid. I don't even like this. If you know what I mean? And if you think about that, like, you think fans are going to like it?
Yeah,
right? Like a dual meet, it's me versus you. It makes sense. You beat me, I beat you. 6 points, 4 points. You figure it out after 5 minutes, right? It's not that complicated. And it's exciting. And people don't want to sit there and watch, no matter what you love. There's nothing I could love that I would just want to watch for 12 hours a day, every single day. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So I mean, I love the NCAA championship, so I don't want to do away with that. But the one argument as far as the team is concerned, the one argument I always have is like, name another event where you can show up with 40% of your roster and you actually have a chance at winning.
It's crazy.
Because you could do that. They all score 25. You get 4 champs. You could win the NCAAs with 100 points.
For sure. I mean, it's usually the better teams have better dual meet teams, right? Like,
most of the time.
Workout partners. But yes, it shouldn't even be an option, right? It shouldn't be an option. Like, it's a team. It's a team sport. Like, I agree with you, but we're all afraid to cannibalize our money child in, the national tournament. And let's be honest, I love the national tournament. Being in the national tournament, that's one of the few times that you don't mind being at it all day, right?
Absolutely,
You're kind of like every round. But even then, you're not up at 5 a.m. Like, think about those open tournaments.
You are because you're a coach.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Isn't it so much more fun, right? When you just show up for rounds, you're like, relax, forget those. You know what I mean?
And you don't got to stay up late with the kids making weight either? Oh, man.
No, that is by far the best. Because even though you try, you'll get like 5 text messages. Coach, I'm 4.7 over. All right, I got to go. I got to walk this guy off a ledge real quick. Let's go figure this out, Give him a hug, But it is what it is. I agree with you. Dual meets are super important and exciting.
Yeah. All right. What else you got for us? You got one dual meet left. You guys got the EIWAs, the NCAAs. You got anything else to tell us?
No, just obviously, like you said, trying to the understanding of some of the challenges we have that we're trying to overcome that we like kind of finally are. But at the end of the day, I honestly, I've also changed my mindset. I'm really, really honestly trying not to get ahead of ourselves. Like, every day I talk to guys back off the ledge. I don't know if you noticed, I 165 pounder, who's another guy that Howie's not nationally ranked. He was ranked 13th in the country at one point.
Who is that? I can't remember.
Ricky Stam. And he's got a 70-something win percentage. And our 25 pounder, how he's not ranked, I do not know. Our heavyweight, our heavyweight has 1 loss in the last 10 matches, and it's to the number 9 kid in the country, 3-2. And we beat Deontay Wilson from NC State, who's pretty hot right now. Yeah, his only loss is to us. You know what I mean? But somehow we're not a top 33 guy according to the coach's rank. Who am I to judge? I guess, right? But is what it is. Anyway, trying not to get ahead of ourselves and focus on. Every day I talk to the guys like, I was saying our 65 pounder tweeted, I didn't even know, like the margin of victory that we won the last like 8 matches by, we outscored our opponents by like 170 points.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, I didn't even think it. And I'm like, don't get ahead. Don't think you arrived. Once you think you arrived, someone's going to come put their foot up, in your face. Right. So go back to work. Sacred Heart's going to come in and they want to beat you. They're 7-3. It's their best year in a long time, and they think they can win. And I don't blame them for thinking that. You got to do what you need. And then we got to use that. My favorite line this year is, this was not the goal, right? Beating Harvard, beating Brown, beating LIU, beating Columbia, beating Binghamton. Great. Was not the goal. We didn't start the season and say, let's beat these teams. It was not the goal. It's the process. And thank God that we're succeeding in the process to accomplish our goals. Yeah, because the truth is, you don't have to succeed in the process to accomplish your goals. It just makes it easier, right? You can really go into the EIWA 0-15 and 4-9 as a competitor and win the freaking thing, right? Mm-hmm. Mark Branch did it at Nationals in 96 or whatever year it was.
Absolutely.
It just we're succeeding in the process. Let's not pretend it's anything more than that. it's not our goals. So we're staying focused on our goals.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time for me today, and we'll see you in NCAAs.
Yeah, for sure. Anything new for you?
I'm just busy doing this podcasting and running my wrestling academy.
And retired, huh?
And being retired.
Nice.
Yep.
Enjoy.
All right. Thanks,
Ben. Talk later.
All right. That was Coach Papadatos. Man, he is a New Yorker. He's a talker, and that makes my job easy. That makes me look so good when people like Coach Papadatos are so good at talking. It's nice seeing them. Hofstra back on the upswing. Obviously, Hofstra had some really good times. I don't know if you guys remember when Coach Tom Ryan was there. Now this is when I'm in school, right? 2003, 4, 5, 6 in that time period. Had some down times lately, but they are now back up in the upswing with Coach Papadatos. And lastly, we are going to bring on Ned Shuck. I knew him from when he was here in Wisconsin. We'll bring him on. Army's having a tremendous amount of success. Have, I think, 9 of their guys ranked. And they have the big match against Navy this weekend. So let's bring him on. What's up, guys? We are here with Ned Shuck. Ned, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just enjoying a nice little Monday here.
So I haven't talked at length with you. So just so people know, you coached at UW Whitewater right down the road from me. That's how we got to know each other.
Yep.
We haven't had an at-length conversation since you went to Army. Do you love the landscape up there?
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's everything that I had back in Wisconsin. You know, in Minnesota, I grew up in Minnesota as well. You know, so you still get the a little bit of the cold with the winter and everything, but yeah, the mountains here and the outdoor activities that you have here is pretty incredible. And then, you know, the good thing about the winters is you get a nice little winter, but it's you're never getting below zero. Just never, you know,
Never?
don't have those cold. I mean, if we've experienced it, my 2 years here, we haven't yet. So it's been really good. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Wow. Okay, so throwing Wisconsin under the bus like that. Okay, well, I mean, I guess what we're talking about, Army having a breakout season this year. You guys have been really good kind of all the way through. And so I was doing my research on you guys, and I started thinking, okay, I know this guy's ranked for Army. I know this guy's ranked. You guys have almost every freaking person in your lineup ranked.
That's
couldn't
right.
believe it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got a really deep team right now, and the guys are continue to make noise on the national level with those rankings, and even from the beginning of the year, last year we had 8 guys in the national tournament,
Yeah.
and that was great, and now I think we got 9 in the polls right now, so yeah, we're right there, man. But the goal is all 10. Yeah, we want to get all 10 in there for sure for Minneapolis.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's start out with your season. This is where I'm going to start with you guys, and I would have made so many banners with this on it. You guys did. I don't feel like you guys took enough advantage of it. You guys took out Penn State at the Black Knight Invite.
We took them out. Yeah, we took them out. Yeah.
Finish first.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we had a mutual friend, I think, that was letting you know, I think at that time, hey, Army's about ready to knock off Penn State, and so I knew you were getting it, and then you guys gave a little shout out to us as well.
Yep.
On your podcast, so that was great. But yeah, it was a great tournament. We have a really cool home event there at the Black Knight Invite, and knocking off Penn State was pretty cool, and yeah, we don't need to apologize for that. It was a great time.
Yeah, I would have had that everywhere.
Have some
John Brown, I actually just put a vlog him up because he was my vlog guy. He helps you guys out, and then he went out to college, and he just ditched me. So I didn't get I had no vlogs for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. And now I actually got it right here. Look at this. I got my GoPro here, so now I can do my own vlogs, or I have my daughter film me. So I've done 2 now.
That's good. You don't need him anymore, so you can keep working with us then.
He's too expensive, anyways. Yeah, he does a great job. So. Okay, so let's keep going on your season. I guess Midlands, I was there. I watched you guys. I think one of the stories of the tournament was Marcus Hartman, who he wasn't even your starter to start the season. I believe he's your official starter now. He goes all the way from back up on your team to the finals of the Midlands. Yeah.
So he had a great tournament. He started from the first round, knocking off a really good wrestler in Cade Devos, and then just kept going and had a good win over Quincy Monday. just kind of kept knocking them off. And in the finals, we had a near miss, made it into overtime with Caleb Young there, and just didn't quite get it done there. But he, was definitely in that match, back and forth. And so something with Marcus, we he's got a lot of ability. I think of him as hey, somebody that's really gets the creative side of wrestling. Mm-hmm. He's one of those guys. He's always doing something new, and he's looking to change up his wrestling and add to what he does really well. Not afraid to kind of ask questions and experiment with different things. And I think a part of that comes with a freshman right after last year, and he had some injuries and things like that, so he had some inconsistent training. Yeah. That kind of kept away from some of that. But when you have that kind of approach to wrestling, sometimes you can get yourself in trouble a little bit, and you're not quite fully developed. And I think that's where right now he's really in the swing of things, and really just kind of finding his own and really mastering his craft. So we're excited for Marcus, and excited. Obviously like I was saying before, we had a real deep team, and Lucas Weiland's been a guy that's been a staple in our program for quite some time, and that's not unsettled yet. And so we're really excited about our next event, and then EIWA. So
okay, well, let's talk about your next event a little bit. Is against, I would say, your bitter rival, Navy. Yeah. They got a pretty solid team this year too. I think you guys are obviously the favorites, but I mean, it just kind of up and down the lineup should be a really competitive duel.
Yeah, it really will. Obviously both teams are going to be really well prepared. It is our rivalry, no doubt, and I think without experiencing it before, just hearing about it was one thing. Now actually being here and being a part of the program and seeing what it really means, not just our wrestling program and their wrestling program, but everything that goes behind it. There's people from all over the world that are going to be watching this duel and texting and calling and emailing, and and this week we'll be flooded with a lot of people in preparation for it. So it'll be a little extra added excitement, no doubt. But yeah, it's fun, man. It's in the fiber of everybody, and so there's really no rivalry like it. I've experienced some strong programs. Obviously wrestling at University of Iowa, we had some really heated rivalry type of matches. It was really cool. But the reality is, even then, even though there's a lot of people behind it, a lot of people that were attended both schools had no idea it was even going on. Sure. And I think that's obviously changing with the popularity of wrestling. I think a lot more exposure. I think it's awesome. What's happening right now with wrestling is just on a continued climb, which is really great. But there's not even back then when wrestling wasn't huge, everybody knew Army and Navy, and everybody knew Army Navy rivalry was going to be a big deal. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, so then what about you said there's no rivalry like it. Well, what about the inter-office rivalry? You and Coach Ward. That's Iowa, Oklahoma State. I mean, you guys got to have a little bit of heat, right? That's coming up this weekend too.
Yeah. No, it's we always get to poke fun at each other. We talk about, we used to call this the Oklahoma State drill, wait,
time out. What did they do in the Oklahoma State drill?
Maybe it'd probably be better if I could, get on the mat and actually kind of show you. And I'm sure he'd feel the same way about, what he would, what they would do in practice and preparation.
That would be a really funny segment if, you guys did your stereotypes of them, and then he did his stereotypes of you guys. That would be pretty comical, I bet.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, we could just bash both programs totally and then just hype up Army, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun though. He, his background is obviously very dynamic, and him being a part of, some of the most successful college teams, ever they had a run during his time was really, really amazing. And that was unfortunately over us at the time. But yeah, I think that was, one of the things that was really exciting for me to be a part of the Army program, given the opportunity was that, I had some opportunities to look at a few other programs, and for me, his background in Oklahoma State and what he had already done at Army, and you could see the continued growth and what he built and where the trajectory was going. It was really exciting, and it's been really cool learning from him. Being at the assistant level has been a different role for me as well. As a head coach for college programs for 8 years, and so hopping into that role, I think it's been really cool. And yeah, we always have some friendly banter about the rivalries as well.
Okay, well, maybe this is your opportunity to give a sales pitch if you want. But we had our first kid commit to a service academy. We had Jack Gatos. He's a junior. He's going to Air Force next year. But I hate student college debt. I think it costs too much. And so, the more I think about it, and wrestlers kind of are made for service academies, in my opinion. They go to college, they get no debt, and they have a guaranteed job. If that isn't a great sales pitch, I don't know what is. So you can further that if you want to, or we can just leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't need to prove you wrong on that. There's no doubt about that. I think the big thing is that all these kids are seeing now. Even high level recruits. Some of the top recruits in the country, they're going to these schools and there's a pretty prominent program that has been very successful and that had a top recruit that just gave scholarship money to, and it's like, it's hopefully it's easy for schools to or kids to see that, hey, there's not a lot of money getting tossed around, and you're going to end up with a lot of college debt. I did myself, and I wasn't a recruited, athlete going into Iowa, a walk-on there at Iowa's program, and so but I graduated there with $90,000 in student loan debt.
Yeah. And
let me tell you, that wasn't fun to get out of, especially being a teacher, when I started out my career and then being a wrestling coach. And so, ultimately, I think kids are starting to realize it. They're starting to see some of these kids that have went through these programs. They're hearing the stories about how much debt they have. They're hearing the stories about how hard it is to still find a job, and, Coach Ward shared an article with me the other day talking about, unemployment rate from college grads, they just not finding jobs, and even with that degree. And so the old story that, hey, all you got to do is just go get a degree and you're set. Well, that's incredibly false, and there's a lot of stories there to prove it. But yeah, you're right. When you come here, hey, you got that guaranteed job and a very incredibly well-paying one. And not only don't have debt when you're here, you also get paid to go to college.
That too. I forgot that part. That too.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a pretty amazing opportunity. I think a lot of kids are seeing that. We're feeling really good about a recruiting class coming in, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's easy to sell that message when you're talking to families and talking to recruits.
Yeah, for real. It's no joke. Okay. Well, it's been good. Any last words for us? Anything else you want to talk about? Debate?
I think that the biggest thing is that we're just excited about this next event. Obviously, the Navy Duel will be a lot of fun.
Can we watch that live? Is that on Flow or anywhere else?
I think the Patriot League carries that. I'm not sure if Flow is going to carry it, but the TV rights of the Patriot League has that, and so you'll be able to find it there for sure. Okay. But yeah, I'm not sure if they have an agreement with Flow. It's at Navy this year, and so we'll be traveling down there. But yeah, just looking for some exciting things here coming the EIWA tournament and pushing all 10 guys through and getting ready for nationals. Keep spreading the word to your AWA guys that need to consider West Point here. And
we got a few in the next class that I've been, since Jack Ganos committed, I've kind of been saying, because we some of our guys progress later in their careers, so they're not, getting scholarship offers, and I know they're good. I know they're committed. They're really smart, so I'm like, this is a really good avenue to start considering.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you're doing with wrestling. And
wait, I got one thing. I'm sorry, Ned. I got one thing. Did you hear Jordan Newman's new nickname? It's pretty good. I like it. Have you heard it yet?
I haven't. No.
Okay, tell me this. His nickname he's going by now is Not Human Newman.
Oh, I love it.
That's fantastic, right?
There's a lot of his former opponents who would probably attest to that he is not human. Yeah, he's something else. He's got something else going on. But yeah, Jordan, man, what an incredible kid, incredible story, and what a pleasure it was to work with him. And yeah, something else we kind of share in common there with all your training that you did with him as well, and currently still doing. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, thank you, Ned. Appreciate it. Good luck versus Navy this weekend.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, that was Coach Shuck. We got to hear about why, if you don't like student debt, you should attend one of the academy programs. And we got to hear about how awesome the Army-Navy rivalry is going to be this weekend. Both those guys have really good teams, so it should be a really competitive match. I would say Army is going to win, but, I guess we'll wait and see. So that's it for us this weekend. This is our last weekend of duels for the NCAA. Then after this, we have 2 weekends off until the conference tournaments, and then we're cranking up NCAAs. Man, that whole March, April stretch is going to be totally insane between the conference tournaments, the Pan Ams, the NCAAs. then right into the Olympic trials 2 weeks after. So we are, if you are a wrestling fan, you are, wow, we're gonna have a good time coming up in the next few months. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed it.